Good morning and welcome in to the new members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. In this morning's update, we've got news, we've got notes, we've got charts, we've got a lot of things to talk about. First things first, we've got Bitcoin down 4.29%, or down 2,600 points to 57,600. We've got XRP down 3.32%. down to that 45.14 cent mark. We've got a couple of things that we have to go over with the SEC, and I've seen questions as well. So we'll revisit what happened to bring this on. So first things first, we'll go over this and we'll go through this in a very unified fashion to start this morning, then we'll get into the technical analysis. So first things first, we'll go back over from July 2nd, just 2 days ago, how Ripple filed a notice for supplemental authority. We'll read the official document, which is very short, so it'll be very quick, and then we'll go into what the SEC did now on this 4th of July, or just before the 4th of July, last night. The SEC strikes back at Ripple with bold new filing, and they basically said that XRP, or Ripple, what they stated was irrelevant, and that they're picking and choosing what fits best for them. So they basically punched Ripple in the face. So we'll see exactly what that has to say. So we'll get caught up on not just what Ripple had said a couple days ago, filing for the supplemental authority. We'll see the SEC's response now that we have the information today. And it's pretty interesting. So we've got a lot to talk about. Then we'll get into the charts after we get those two news of note. And then we'll look at exactly what's going on. A little bit of an update with one of the platforms I copy trade on. Probably won't be on there anymore for much longer on Blowfin. Just FYI, because it won't let me add to my position. So I had an H-bar position. I was going to add to it as it was finishing the drop. And it just opened up two separate positions. So I closed out the two separate positions when they were in the profit. But it doesn't help for the other one because it's down about 23% right now. And I was trying to build into it as the position went down. But since it's not letting me do that, if you want to copy trade me, do it on HOTCOIN because I can add to my position. Otherwise, I can't trade like I want to. And if I'm opening trades and you guys can't see it, there's no point. So that's that. With that, if you're wondering why there was 4 different trades open instead of just being in one, because it wouldn't add to the trade. So now I'm kind of stuck with the top down like $20-something right now on the original part. But the other parts that I thought I was adding to the trade, I got to sell over 7 cents. But it was supposed to be added into the trade. So that's something that's going to be a little bit of an issue for me. But that's okay. I'll just have to remember on Blowfin that I can only make one trade during the trade and I can't expand the trade. So we'll see what happens there. But I have a feeling, as of right now, it's going to cost me a tiny bit of money. So not too thrilled with that, but got to be transparent at all times. We got to stay positive and we'll work with the best outcome possible. With the XRP Bitcoin pairing, we're up 1.16%. up to the 784 sat level. So one of the few bright spots here as we continue to say, even if Bitcoin was coming down with XRP, it looked like Bitcoin was going to fall faster than XRP based on the fact it looked like XRP was getting ready for a breakout. I'm targeting a spot for Bitcoin here, but we'll talk about this after the live. After the intro. So please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this update. It would be greatly appreciated if you could hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this update. It does show up on the YouTube newsfeed and we become part of the recommendations. So if someone scrolling through the newsfeed, they'll be able to find our content. The good news is I'll give you about 30 seconds to hit that like button, as we do average about 1 in every 9 people hit that like button. It'd be truly amazing if we could get it up to 3 out of every 9 and you could hit that like button. If for any other reasons, because it's 4th of July today. So happy 4th of July to everybody in the audience. Please have a happy and safe 4th of July. We have a parade in Clawson that I may or may not go up to here after I do this update. And then just make sure you're safe and spend time with the ones you want to. So make sure to hit that like button. I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. Good morning 8:42 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, July 4th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So we got a lot to get to on the charts, but first, we got to catch up on what's going on. So if you didn't know, Ripple filed 2 days ago a Ripple files notice of supplemental authority. So I was going to read this very quickly so we can catch up to what the SEC's response was. So defendant Ripple Labs Inc. respectfully submits this notice of supplemental authority relevant to its opposition to the SEC's pending motions for remedies and entry of final judgment. On June 28, 2024, the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia issued a memorandum, opinion, and order in SEC versus Binance Holdings. Binance granted in part and denied in part a motion to dismiss the SEC's claim that sales of certain digital assets were sales of unregistered securities. It found persuasive and followed the court's summary judgment opinion in this case, extending its reasoning to apply to secondary market sales of one of the assets at issue. In the course of ruling for the SEC on some issues and the defendants to others, the court observed. So, and this is official document number 971, and this came out July 2nd, 2024. Intangible digital assets do not fit neatly into the rubric set forth in the mere 7 pages that comprise the Howey opinion. Also, the agency's decision to oversee this billion-dollar industry through litigation, case by case, coin by coin, court after court, is probably not an efficient way to proceed, and it risks inconsistent results that may leave the relevant parties and their potential customers without clear guidance. Julie, what time is the parade? Is it 9?
Yeah.
Okay. This observation supports Ripple's argument that providing clarity on the legality of the different types of sales of XRP was the most significant aspect of the court's summary judgment. The lack of regulatory clarity prior to that ruling in turn supports Ripple's position that the court findings of a strict liability violation on some of Ripple's sales, but far fewer than the SEC alleged were violations, does not reflect reckless disregard for the law or warrant no harsh remedies, and of course the SEC did not even allege recklessness as to the Ripple in its complaint. So that was what Ripple sent when they filed a notice of supplemental authority. However, the SEC strikes back. So XRP lawsuit, SEC strikes back at Ripple with bold new filing. In the latest development of the high-stakes legal battle between the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and Ripple Labs, the SEC has boldly responded to Ripple's recent legal filing. On July 3rd, 2024, the SEC submitted a new document to the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York, aimed at countering the company's reliance on a recent ruling from the case against Binance Holdings Ltd. to argue against harsh penalties in its ongoing case. So the SEC counters Ripple. The Securities and Exchange Commission's filing, authored by Judge Tenorio, sharply criticizes Ripple's interpretation and application of Binance ruling. Tenorio points out that the firm's citation of the Binance decision is misguided and irrelevant to the issue at hand, stating this authority is a ruling on a motion to dismiss an SEC versus Binance Holdings Ltd. that is wholly irrelevant to the pending motion remedies. Tenorio further emphasizes the disconnect in the firm's argument by noting that it highlights one observation in the nearly 90 pages of Binance ruling and tries to extrapolate from that general observation about the efficiency of the SEC's litigation strategy. The notion that Ripple did not act with reckless disregard for the law, such that harsh remedies are not warranted. He critiques this approach by affirming that this plainly does not follow the SEC's filings, along accuses the firm of omitting crucial elements of the Binance ruling that undermine their argument. Specifically, the Binance court's rejection of the fair notice defense parallels the Ripple case. The SEC quotes the Binance ruling, noting it was notable that the defendants were alleged to have actual notice that the SEC pursue them, which aligns closely with the SEC's argument that the company had received ample warning through legal advisories regarding the sales of XRP. Moreover, the SEC recalls previous court findings that have consistently held that Ripple was indeed aware of the potential securities implications of their actions. The agency further noted in its response that, like in Ripple's case, the Binance court confirmed that the crypto industry had been adequately notified of the regulatory framework through the SEC's DAO notice of July 2017. This directly challenges the fintech stance on the lack of regulatory clarity, emphasizing that the SEC had clearly signaled its regulatory intentions, which should not have been unexpected to Ripple. This point is crucial for the SEC's argument for stricter penalties of more than $2 billion, contrary to Ripple's contention that civil penalties should not exceed $10 million. Again, we need to make sure we're clear and transparent here, and I feel the need every time I read one of these articles. They did not ask for only a $10 million penalty. For disgorgement only, they asked for $10 million. That doesn't account for the other $1.13 billion that was on top of the 970 disgorgement or 878 million disgorgement fee. This $10 million, Ripple is saying, should only be for disgorgement. There's no other part about the other $1.13 billion. So there has been no settlement offer. There's been no rejection by Ripple for a settlement. That is all a lot of fake news this morning. None of that has happened. And I don't know why so many are running with that. Notably, the ongoing case has broader implications for the crypto industry, particularly in how digital assets are regulated and the enforcement action that can be expected from U.S. regulators. The SEC's recent filing underscores their target to establish oversight over the crypto industry. So, and then with XRP, we know we traded below this little triangle, the ascending triangle. And now we could find our way at some lower lows. So we'll take a look at the technical analysis now. Make sure to hit that like button if you do appreciate these updates. And we're looking at a pretty oversold environment here with cryptocurrency right now. With Bitcoin right now, we've come down below the pennant flag. So this is where remember I circled, if anybody's been watching, we talked about this breakdown here for a potential double bottom. We circled all the way down to about 56,600. But if it breaks any lower than that, we're going to have an issue, and we might find ourselves all the way back down at 52,546. Bitcoin is massively oversold right now. I can't remember the last time I've seen every single time frame end up almost universally so oversold. And even in the daily time frame, Bitcoin's worked its way back into an oversold area. Weekly time frame has still got some work to do to push up, but we are at that mid-front level. So if we remain bullish, we should kick back any time now. Even from a weekly perspective, we've got a lot of, we just found ourselves majorly oversold, especially when you look into the 4-hourly dailies oversold. I think we're going to have some kind of bounce back here. It's just a matter of, does it come here or does it come at 52K? I'm very interested right now to try to, on HOTCOIN, do a copy trade here. It's either going to be Bitcoin or I'm going to look into XRP because they're both so massively oversold. I'm probably going to bypass Blowfin from here on out when it comes to copy trading, only because I can't add to a particular trade, and it's very detrimental for what I do. Like right now, I have an H-bar trade that's probably down 30% right now, but it should have been open in 4 different parts, and it would be closer to even. But instead, I had to close out 3 separate trades because they weren't adding on top of it, and I'm not a fan of that because I like to build into a trade. So if you're copy trading me there's only like 3 people, only 2 people, or if there's 5 people, 2 people have money on there. So you're stuck in this with me, with the current setting, but I would encourage you to follow me on HOTCOIN to do the copy trading because I can add the trades. It's just that simple. It ruins my trading style like this, and I can't have it. For Bitcoin, though, if we do start to get hot, our first major resistance is going to be around 58,700. And then we'll decide, are we bearish or bullish still? If we can't get above the pennant flag, we're very bearish. But that still does allow for about a 1,500 point swing here at some point. So that's something to pay attention to. XRP is down 3.96%. Again, XRP told us everything we needed to know. We got rejected at the 48.4 cent mark. And unfortunately, we rode down the technical target out of this just to make sure the exact target. I think I'm more comfortable taking this from right here, only because that's, you know what? You can't really say that because the resistance started here and the support structure started there. So, I mean, that is a valid expectation if it were to break down. That's the width of this structure. So it fell down right here. So that says 41.8. What if we do it from right here? I think I'm more comfortable doing it from where we actually hit resistance support and not where it started. Man, we're getting very close to this target. Whoops. So the technical target right now is about 43.15 cents if you look at it from the shorter scale. So, I mean, we are right there. 3 hourly, we're massively oversold. 2 hourly, 1 hourly. We haven't had any kind of real bounce back here at all. So this is beautiful time to do this. We're massively oversold in the 45. 30 is oversold. The 15 is pushing back towards oversold. Even the smaller time frames are pushing back into oversold. These are all starting to meet here. If we come down here to like 43.13, if that does dump off here real quick, even if it doesn't, there's an opportunity there. If we look at the XRP, the opposite chart, we talked about if 46.4 cents broke, that likely the next technical move would be to come down here, and it's right around the 42.5 cent mark, and that's the cup and handle support. And with how far we're selling off here, or how much we're selling off, you're seeing opportunities start to develop. We're still on this inverse head and shoulders within this cup and handle. I'm going to delete this so it's easier to see. But we still have this cup and handle very much intact. So until this gives way, XRP is still in a bullish setup. It's just we are in a bearish consolidation right now. And the factory broke down out of this pattern at 464. The next technical move would be around 42.5 cents. It would be around 42.5 cents. We have a technical move at 43.13 cents, according to this chart. So pay attention to that when it comes to the XRP technical analysis, as I want to continue moving on in a unified fashion. But Ripple has started to push into majorly oversold territories. Daily's catching up with 4 hourly, severely oversold. Even into the smaller time frames are oversold. So I imagine some kind of bounce back here with cryptocurrency today. I don't think it's going to recover all of its losses, but we're going to have to get some kind of bounce back here to make up. When we look at H-bar, it's down to 6830 level. Again, I'm very disappointed with the way my copy trade is going because I wasn't able to add to this. It was a beautiful trade with the way it was dumping from where I bought it to where I could have bought in a couple separate times. We could be sitting in a beautiful spot waiting out the rest of this drop. And it's, you know, it's not working for me. So Blowfin is out when it comes to copy trading. So if you copy trade me there, I'm going to not use that anymore because I can't use a site that I can't add on top of a trade. It's just a strategy that I use. Every 20% down, I add 20% more. Especially when an asset's severely oversold. You can never time the bottom. So what I do is I like to buy into a spot where I think is good. And then it drops 20%, I buy 20% more. Drops another 20%, I'll buy another 20% more. Then I've lowered my input by 40% and added 40% along the way as well. And I can't do that right now. So if you notice that copy trading shut down on Blowfin after today, that's why. And I'm going to stick to HOTCOIN just because I can add to my trade and I feel more comfortable doing that. I like my trading style. So make sure if you want to copy trade me, follow me on HOTCOIN. If you're on Blowfin, switch it over to Coin or HOTCOIN so that I can work transparently. So HBAR right now, we are massively oversold in the 30, the 45, the hourly, the 2 hourly, the 3 hourly, the 4 hourly. I mean, when you want to talk about a opportunity, the daily's oversold, the weekly's pushing up in a unified fashion. But the question is do we have to continue building down? Would you have to wait until about 5.5? That's the question. Right now in the short term, there is no doubt in my mind that there's going to have to be some volatility to the top side. We don't usually get this oversold universally with H-bar, so I'm definitely looking for a back test here. So we drop down. At some point, I could see us back testing that 742 area. That 742 area. Let me get rid of this. I see a back test around 742 when we start to have that volatile swing up. But we don't know when it's going to be because crypto is so volatile to the downside that it's a little bit interesting right now. So we'll make sure of what's going on here. And then with Bitcoin, we're going to continue to watch. I'm sniping out a position here. It's at 57,350. First time I looked was at 58,222. Decided against it. And now I'm actually very hardcore looking at this. If we got to drop to 52 real quick, obviously I would take it out there. But I'm thinking about in the very short term here, 30 minutes oversold, 45's oversold, hourly's oversold, 2 hourly's oversold, 3 hourly, 4 hourly's massively oversold. Daily time frame for Bitcoin back to oversold. So at some point, we're going to have some kind of volatility back to the top side, but I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this morning update, please make sure to hit that like button. Share this on social media. And become part of the more than 1 point out of every 9 that hit that like button. Let's try to make it 3 out of every 9 on this 4th of July. Have a happy 4th of July. And be safe. If you're looking to copy trade, look in the video description below and our pinned comments. Look at HOTCOIN. BITUNIX will be able to do it later this month. And if you're looking to spot or leverage trade, I suggest BITUNIX, as they are the lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. And I can unequivocally say that because I've tried a couple of the other exchanges as well that I never tried. And the fees are much greater than they are on BITUNIX. And if you're on copy trading on Blowfin, exit that, close that position, or just wait it out and join me on HOTCOIN so that I can trade how I see efficient or appropriate, so that I can at least add to my position. There's nothing worse than doing a copy trade and not being able to add as it goes down. Or I mean a futures trade when you have yourself set up in a position you want and then you can't add to it to build through. It's very frustrating. With the XRP Bitcoin pairing, pay attention because the reversal could have started now, as I think Bitcoin's got a volatile swing back up that needs to happen. So we're going to have to watch the fact that maybe we come back down to the 755 sat level, if not worse, for XRP Bitcoin pairing. And Bitcoin's going to have some volatility here, as the XRP Bitcoin pairing is teasing a reversal here, so be careful. I got out of the XRP Bitcoin pairing when it was up at the 800 sat level, the rest of my position. Not because it can't go up, but because I seen a reversal possibly taking place as it started to pull down here. It was up at 806. I was at around the 798. And then once it came back below here, or where was it at? It was in a 30-minute time frame when it broke. It came back right here. We did a double top, and then right when we started coming back down, we had this push up here on this candle in the 30-minute. And when it got rejected around 796, I think it was 795 that I sold. So, and that was the rest of it. Some of you know I already had sold out the first time it went up to the 7.9 or 7.8 sat level for taxes, property taxes. I sold some. So anyhow, that's what we're looking at for the XRP Bitcoin pairing, as it does look like a reversal starting. Make sure you look in the video description below and our pinned comments if you want to trade crypto in the USA or abroad. There's BITUNIX, which I highly encourage. There's HOTCOIN if you want to copy trade me. And then consider sending 1 YouTube super chat per month or joining Tom's Army, as we did start a new month, and it would be a beautiful gesture. So have a blessed morning, and I will catch you in this afternoon's update.